Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward.
What's up guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert to your own research. Today I want to review Bitcoin, see what's going on. We're seeing like a pretty nasty move. Contextually, it's not really that big of a deal, but a lot of altcoins are definitely selling off. I don't think that altcoin pain is quite over yet. I put a tweet out a few days ago where I just didn't see any reversal patterns quite yet. I think it's going to take several weeks or more, honestly, for altcoins to do pretty well. But anyways, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently very choppy within this overall kind of month or so long consolidation period. Almost 2 months now, actually, where, you know, Bitcoin chopped around for quite some time since kind of middle of March and has been in this range from about 27K to 30K over the last several weeks, and not really much has happened. I do believe that the 25K level will get tapped eventually. I just don't know when. And this is an area that I was really briefly looking at a long time. If we're looking at it just from the daily, there's a lot of confluence with this level. It's the beginning of like a supply area, demand area right around the March 15th area. And it's the 382 fib from this entire move, as well as the 200-day EMA. 25.5K or so should be a pretty good area to bid, in my opinion. And that should be a pretty strong area of support. Now, am I being too preemptive here? We are looking at this current area around 27K, where this has been a strong demand area over the last several weeks, as I said before, and price has found support at this level for a long time. However, it's important to note that the more times demand is tapped, the more times that area, or the weaker that area becomes, and the reason is that those bids are getting eaten up, meaning that there's not as many buyers in a certain area. Every time the level gets tapped, those buyers get filled. And unless you're talking about like a mega strong area where there's like infinite buyers, I don't know where that area is for Bitcoin, maybe like 20K or something like that, which is probably not even really that, not that level, but those orders are getting filled every single time. And I think that the more times an area gets tapped, the weaker it becomes. So this area has been tapped multiple times, as I said before, and in my opinion, demand is probably getting weaker every single time. So it is interesting to note that, and the next area up would kind of be this 25K to, I don't know, like 24K area. That would be like an area of interest if Bitcoin breaks through this current area. And if you take a step back and you take a look at some higher time frame charts, the 25K area it makes a lot of sense. It was that former range high area back in the range high that got tapped all the way in August of 22 and then February of 23. And if you strip everything else away, you can just look to see there's just a lot of confluence in that area. Weekly 200-day EMA, range high. There's just a lot of confluence in that area. It should be really a strong area, 25K, if it comes. Now, is it going to come for sure? I don't know. Price could continue to consolidate around this area and then go higher. Certainly possible. And this area has been proven to be support for now, this 27K area. So maybe it's just going to continue to be support. But, 25K is an area of interest that I've been looking at for a while, but don't know if it is going to come or not. Now, let's look down lower on the 4 hour. The 4 hour, and I am using these fibs here. The 4 hour, the EMAs have all turned bearish. Price is now below all of these EMAs. So what you would want to see is for price to just continue to chop around if you believe this area is going to be strong, and then all these EMAs consolidating to the point where they get underneath price, where you see something like this. That's the red one, this is the blue one. You want to see something like this where price consolidates, the EMAs all chop underneath, and then Bitcoin is ready for another leg up. But ultimately, you know, I would not be surprised at all to see this 25K area get tapped, and that is kind of an area that I'm looking for overall. Now, again, like, do you short this area? I personally would not, because this is still support as far as I can see. But you know, if you and personally, I'm truly waiting for, like, if you wanted to short, I'm truly waiting for a breakdown of the structure. So what that means is I would look for like price to come back down, come back up, make some sort of lower high, and at that point, to me, price is in a bearish market structure. But for now, price to me is still in a bullish market structure on the daily, and it's important to note that. And I do believe that price is still bullish until shown otherwise. And for me to start looking for shorts is when we see a break of this market structure, when you see a lower high and then a lower low. That to me would be a strong case for a bearish market structure in that case. Am I saying that, like, you know, price is never going to get to these levels? No. What is important to me is that price forms where the low gets formed on higher time frame charts. And what I mean by that is that lows often take a very long time to form. So for example, you know, I've done other videos on this before, but like this low got set and this took like months back in 2021. And I'm going to take away some of these EMAs because they are choppy. So this was a low formed. This was a low formed. All of these areas, these took days and weeks and sometimes months to form. That's what I would look for the high time frame low, for a higher low. Now, it could be also a fake out too. Not necessarily a fake out, but just like forming this low like here, like we did back in 2022, where this low was formed and you could maybe make an argument that, yeah, you'd like to see it move back up. This is kind of what I thought was going to happen. I thought that this was going to chop around, consolidate in January, February, and March, and then it was going to make a move up to like the mid 50Ks and then dump farther. But it didn't happen that way. You know, price just kind of came up and then dumped further. That's possibly what could happen here. Maybe we see something like that where price comes back down, you know, chops around for a while, and then just makes another leg down. But what I'm really looking for personally is for a long-term sustainable low to form. And I don't believe that this is it. I strongly believe that 25K will come, to be frank and honest with you. What I would like to see is it come down and then for it to consolidate for like many days or weeks or whatever, and then make another leg up. Now, I did believe that 35K or so was going to be the area of interest, but don't know if that's quite going to happen. It's really going to depend on what the low looks like from this next move. And I don't believe, as I said before, I don't believe this is really, I don't believe this is the low in. I think that 25K is going to come, but again, I don't know what it's going to look like, how long it's going to chop around. And unfortunately, for better or worse, when these things go, they usually go strong. So like, you know, we might see like a big move down, even to 23K to the 0.5 fib. And then we might chop around. But really, this is what the type of price action that I really want to look for is just price chopping around, consolidating for a while, and then another move up. That would be amazing to see. And that to me would be pretty strong. This current right here, this current price action, I don't believe it to be super strong. Now, maybe it is like this type of consolidation, you know, where we see something like this, like we saw back in 2019. Or I'm sorry, not 2019, 2020. Or you could also see it back in like 2019 time period, where you saw this type of weird vertical accumulation and or, you know, this violent type of pullback here. It could look something like this, and maybe this is like what we're looking for as the next leg up. You know, there maybe are parallels to seeing what this like January, I'm sorry, not January, this May, June, July price action for 2019. Maybe if you just compare it to like this current price action where price is chopping around. So like I'm comparing this type of price action here, if you look at it here, to the current price action that we're seeing right now. maybe if you just strip everything else away, it's just violently moving around and consolidating, and then it will make another move up. Certainly possible, but I still believe that 25K at a minimum is going to come. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We'll try to do some more videos this week. Take care.